finish the content. We do a couple of Instagram reels with Crip Mac and everything like that. And then we're doing the interview, right? And he's super high energy, like better than the first interview that we did a week ago. Like way better energy, super energetic, being funny, screaming, having a great time. And I was asking him about some fairly, controversial stuff. We didn't get a chance to talk about the fact that Lush basically set him up to talk shit about Munchie over the weekend, which we're definitely going to get into.
What a gross mischaracterization.
I speak for the mayor. I speak for the mayor. Do you want to speak on that?
It sounds like you're being an agent of chaos.
I am an agent of chaos. Check me out. Ching chong. I do all that. But,
agent or agent?
I just had to stop myself. Shut all my agents.
Apparently we've already crossed that river.
Well, okay, before we even get into all that, you tell us what happened in this clip that went a little viral of you basically encouraging Crip Mac to crash out on your podcast co-host, who we thought that you had some sort of respect or loyalty towards.
Well, so check this out, brother.
Yeah, we'll check it.
So what I was trying to do is actually be like, I'm trying to build and mend potential. So I'm seeing Crip Mac. I'm seeing a different energy from him. I've been realizing, maybe I haven't been paying close enough attention, but per my recollection, Munchie's been hasn't said anything bad about Crip Mac. I ain't seen him say a single thing. A matter of fact,
you don't hear nothing.
Yes.
Nah, he talking about as of recent.
As of recent, yeah. Like back in the day.
Not really bad. I ain't gonna say bad, like disrespectful, but I think you have kind of clowned him in some of them fades or said he can't fade.
But that was like a while back. That's not like the last month, right?
Since his release. Since his release. So like,
okay.
Or even a little bit before. I haven't.
Yeah, I personally, and I'm not saying he ain't, but I haven't seen Munchie say anything really about Crip Mac like that I noticed for a long time.
Also, you notice who just left?
Spotty.
Yeah, well, he mentioned earlier to me, he's like, I don't want to be around if y'all gonna talk crazy about Crip Mac.
No one's I'm not gonna talk crazy about Crip Mac.
I know, I'm just pointing out that this is
okay, understandable.
It's a little funny, right?
So basically, I'm noticing a different energy, a different level of maturity, seemingly, and like an understanding of content. Like I saw a lot of the way Gorlock incident aside, the way that Crip Mac was handling himself with Neon, I was like, okay, it seemed like he's learning a little something. And I was genuinely curious. Is there a chance of him being on the No Jumper show? And then, he answered, yeah, like who on there? You feel me? Like, now he did put a derogatory spin on the way he said that, but that's like kind of typically expected.
On the word who?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you ain't even have to point that out. See, them the pointers you should just like sometimes just
roll over.
Go right over.
Yeah,
because we just know you love dissing Hood so much. You just love.
You ain't got to be that punk. But yeah.
So he said. So I'm like, all right, we all on the podcast, me, Adam, Ant, Spody, Munchie, and he was like, all right, well, if I go on there, I'm gonna say, how I feel about everybody. It is what it is. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds like a somewhat mature. Like, I feel like before you would have had a different response because he kind of had a line drawn in the sand about, certain individuals before. Then he was like, well, then he had some harsh words for Munchie. And I was like, well, you can see immediately, I'm like, that's not what I was expecting you to say at that moment. It genuinely wasn't,
He said, you got a problem with that Hood? You said, no.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna fight over it.
You're supposed to be an Inglewood attorney in that moment.
He said, fuck that.
Just like we said last week.
What I'm not gonna do is disrespect people that I'm cool with. So that's what I didn't do. You feel me?
Okay. Munchie, do you feel like Lush was out of pocket for even asking such a question, given that, you probably could have assumed that it was going to be a no?
I don't think he was intentionally trying to throw me out there to get verbally abused, but I already said over and over again, I ain't trying to do no content with him, no song, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think it was intentional on his behalf, like, you know what I'm saying, for him to come at me or whatever. He did that on his own.
And I'm not dumb. Like, I know when I ask that, there's definitely a percentage of a chance of him saying something that's going to be unfavorable. But I'm kind of like hoping, okay, there is a slight chance that he might be like, you know what? Like, yeah.
Okay, so was you looking for a viral response, but you didn't expect him to go that far, or what?
No, I was hoping for a positive response is what I was doing. So I was kind of like rolling the dice, knowing I'm not like ignorant to the point where I don't think that there's potential for like, we're dealing with Crip Mac, bro. Like he definitely is known for saying volatile things.
Okay, that was a 2-part question because you asked that. In the second part, you said, okay, so this is something you wouldn't have did in the past. So what you thought, like Joe corrected him?
Well, yeah, I kind of thought maybe he had like a different outlook at this point and was maybe potentially willing, because I've seen that happen with a lot of people who would have, I'm pretty sure even
all of us up here.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, like there's probably individuals that none of y'all would have sat with that you wound up sitting with.
I mean,
because you've grown up and matured.
Crip Mac does seem a little more open-minded than somebody like 4Extra, who seems like his policy is like no ops ever.
Yeah.
0%. Never. I will never go near an enemy. Crip Mac praises Job 5 as if they were like on good terms. Like he talks about Jab 5 in like relatively glowing terms, which is kind of surprising. Well, they fight in there, so like I guess there's respect like that, you know.
Usually that's how I go, man. You feel me? Unless you know somebody is just like a piece of shit or a weirdo. Usually, you know, you get that squabble out the way, you know, and shit, it'd be straight after that.
And that's kind of how I took Crip Mac as a individual. Like he deals with people on an individual basis to a degree. So I'm like, you know what? Like, because I've heard him say, "Shout out my good Don moves," did it several times. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, maybe there's. It honestly it caught me off guard. I knew that I didn't know who it was going to be. I knew there was a potential that he might have had an unfavorable reaction, but I didn't know it was going to be like that.
Like even today, I brought up B Braze, and he was like, "I like B Braze." Although he then revealed that the reason why he likes him is because they have mutual enemies.
You know, the biggest thing, yeah, that's true. The biggest thing I wish I would have done is at that moment been like, you know, that's interesting, Crip Mac, because like Munchie hasn't said anything unfavorable about you. So like, I don't know why you're saying this about him. So that probably would have been the thing I could have said. But I was also reading his energy. And he's like, when he's like, do you have a problem with that? I clearly didn't have I don't want a problem like that. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know,
I could pinpoint my last negative, I guess you could call it negative conversation regarding Crip Mac, and that was some time ago. And the conversation started off kind of cool. Me and Spider was talking about me calling him a J cat and why I shouldn't, and why people offended by me saying that, like his demographic, you know what I'm saying, whatever. So and then one of the particular people that was upset about it was Baby Runner, so he called Baby Runner, and you know that phone call didn't go so well. But before that, you know what I'm saying, it was just a conversation about the whole J cat thing, and that's when he called from jail like. Munchy. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay. Yeah, but I ain't said nothing about him since. I mean, what, a couple contests ago when I reacted to the Gorlock conversation? Oh. And I just like, I know he ain't none of that because remember TANEA tried to get her little vape from under him. He almost fought on her. When he found out Lil Nas X was gay, live on No Jumper, he wasn't feeling that. I'm like, he ain't playing this Gorlock shit. And then I was gonna come this Tuesday, I'm like, I respect him because he said he ain't doing Neon. I don't care if he had $50 million. He shouldn't have played with me like that with the transgender. But then he got up at the store and did the thing with Les. I'm like, okay, well.
It's also because like during the whole Gorlock, because you were on the pod when this was last week, literally when this came up.
Yeah.
And you pretty much like the main thing I remember you saying is laughing at what do you say? The McNazi, what was he saying?
Yeah,
like,
that was funny.
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't like a diss. Like,
no.
like, yeah.
I ain't never heard him pop it like that. He was in pin mode.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounded like he was reading off a paper.
Well, yeah, he definitely like I guess it's a more modern iteration of the C Nasty, which you hit him with before.
Right. And when we were talking about Mark Nasty, there was some confusion in the group chat because some people were talking about Mark Nasty, some people were talking about Mac Nasty.
Yeah, I was talking about Mac Nasty.
We can get into that topic later for sure. But yeah, I mean, all right. So that now that that's out of the way, I guess we probably could have assumed that would have been a little bit of a tough bridge to build. But hopefully, we can encourage Crip Mac not to be talking too crazy about Munchie if we do have any impact on that.
Man, sure. Just let him do what he do, man. Whatever. Right. I mean, see.
For sure.
Somebody told me when I walked out, you had something to say about me.
Well, I pointed out that you walked out, but I thought you were walking out because we brought up Crip Mac.
You know what? You are agent of chaos. At least you try to be a you.
Ching chong. Well, I mean, you made it clear to me that like you don't really want to be on the podcast if we're talking crazy about someone that you have a fondness for. So I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Crip Mac. That's bro. But at the end of the day, it's more than just. Man, if you know, you know, man. What's understood ain't got to be explained, bro.
Right, because we have two Crip Mac ops right here. One more explicit than the other. What he needs is an advocate on this side of the table.
I don't have to be no advocate of himself. He's a grown man. You know what I'm saying? That's that type of stuff. Is, you know what I mean? Left in the streets. You know what I mean? They see each other when they see each other, and that's it. They hate each other that much. I don't really think it's that big. I think that's some internet stuff. But
right, and I don't
can't
consider
tell nobody how they feel about anybody. I'm just, still though,
I don't think Ant's a real Crip Mac op.
He didn't say nothing about it.
Yeah,
that I seen.
A lot of niggas ain't opposite people. I don't know. Like I said, I already tell op word. Niggas use that loosely. Like that shit is like a facade. Like if you see somebody somewhere and you don't do nothing, he's not an op. It ain't an op on your time when you with the homies in the hood and all that. Because just like if I see somebody I dislike, it's up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I guess it's like from the street terms, people communities not. You know what I'm saying? Getting along or being in odds. I guess that's what it's supposed to be. But man, a lot of these dudes ain't ops out here, man. It's just regular shit, man.
So okay, we're doing the interview today after he protected another plug in the alley, and we had a few good topics. We're maybe like a half hour into the interview, right? And we talked about the neon thing. We talked about the trans thing. We talked about Blueface and like the fact that they did the 20 versus 1 together. Hit a bunch of topics, and then I'm thinking it's not going to be a big deal. I call TANEA.
Why would you do that?
Unprompted?
Because I didn't know that he had negative feelings to TANEA like the way that I quickly realized.
You was just playing all these songs together and shit. So
That's what I'm saying. And she's calling me, leaving me long ass voice notes and stuff, basically telling me that she wants to.
Them old songs when they was together. It ain't like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
But she's telling me that she wants to reconnect with him, that she wants to do music, that she's down to do podcasts. So I'm not thinking that he has some crazy grudge against her, because I've never heard him communicate that he has some level of anger towards TANEA. Did you know that?
I mean, I thought that was public information.
Man, I'm out here.
I didn't know
I
that.
never had to hear it.
I thought I was some sort of Crip Mac scholar.
Nah, even before he got locked up, and only that is like, you know what I'm saying, he in a situation, or he could be, you know what I'm saying, that was messy on your behalf anyway. You know what I'm saying? You calling a female on the spot when you don't know about
But
it.
why would I? But he let me call her. Like, he didn't tell me not to call her.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
Let me ask you this question, Adam. Would she sent you 5 or 6 songs?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. So how long was Crip Mac locked up? A couple years?
2 years.
So if they wasn't released by then, and she had to get at you to review the songs or to, you know what I'm saying, promote the songs, why would you think that he would be cool with her?
Because people don't release music all the time. Like, the fact that only one of those songs came out, which also they fell out like days after the one song came out.
I got like 4 songs in my phone with TANEA, bro. That ain't out.
Right.
I mean, yeah, and you probably got a lot of songs with a bunch of other people that you have no problem with, that you cool with, that just hasn't.
And just in general, like every musician that I know, like every rapper I know, has probably like hundreds of unreleased songs on their phone. Like, that's just normal.
Yeah, for sure.
But to be noted, they, before getting locked up, they was back and forth communicating, and then he'd say something, then they'd be back cool. So it's kind of like, who can really tell?
Right.
Shit.
I mean, to be fair, as an artist or somebody who does music or anything like art or whatever you want, if you want to put that out, you gonna put that out, bro.
Okay, but that doesn't have anything to do with this, because it's not like I was calling her to talk about releasing the songs. I was just calling her in general to see if what they said to each other, you know? And I'm pretty sure if I search TANEA Crip Mac right now, that it's not like there's going to be like a ton of videos out there that are like about the fact that they hate each other. Like, as far as I know, he has not really said anything about her besides maybe that initial, like right after that one song came out.
Well, I think
Adam, you smart, but you devious, man. You know what's going on.
Wait, but I'm trying to nip this. This is an inaccurate narrative.
No.
I actually did not know that they had any kind of issue. And if you watch the clip, it's like he does not communicate to me. Like, if he had said, no, don't call her, I would have hung up.
Hey, hold on.
If I actually got the idea that it was going to make him uncomfortable.
So that's open and closed shut. Like, it's obvious that they had a.
It ain't. I'm saying like this because y'all playing games.
No.
No, I'm not playing any games. I'm not trolling. I'm not doing any of
Let's
that.
just say this, because like I said, I ain't even a messy type of be a motherfucker's business. Let's just say you was dealing with somebody, right? You know what I'm saying, and you go to jail. And you go to jail and shit, like, motherfuckers is talking about that they got a baby by your ops. What the fuck is
Okay,
you?
she got a new baby daddy from Hoover. So
Yeah, I did point that out to him, and that also seemed to be kind of a trigger for him.
Yeah. How many kids she got now? Well, she just had,
Oh, what, TANEA?
She just had a baby on.
I think she might be at 5 or
I was gonna
6.
say she definitely got like enough for a hoop team.
I mean, she got 3 with just Snoopy Badass.
No, shout out to the women with a lot of
6.
kids. My mom
Yeah,
had
yeah,
kids.
shout out to
I'm not just saying. I'm talking about like in recent years. So she just had a baby.
She had a baby, yeah, like probably
She been in
last
the-
year, probably a year ago.
Oh, so
she
we
gave
in jail.
birth.
Oh.
Like I said, I don't know they business. It could be, you know how, and it could just be from the jail time shit. When you dealing with somebody, you go to jail and they fall off. Like, everybody don't get out and be fucking with them people. But like I said, that's what I think that the situation stemmed from. If it is any problem, like, nigga ain't gonna be favored of that. Like, definitely, if I go to jail, you have, you know what I'm saying, kid by somebody that, you know what I'm saying, I view as a op. Like, shit, how you think we cool?
But she got kids with people from every set in LA, realistically.
That was before his time.
She probably got some Sereno babies running around.
He coming from a different perspective because the dynamic of your relationship is totally different than the average person, though.
I'm aware of that, but also it's like, for me, it's like if I had some ex-girlfriend from a couple years ago and Lush was like interviewing me and he was like, oh, I want to call this girl, and Lush has no clue that me and her are on bad terms, then who cares? And okay, if I say, Lush, no, don't call her, I don't fuck with her, I don't want you talking to her, then that's one thing. But he didn't act upset about the idea of me calling her until she picks up, and then he kind of goes into overdrive. Like, he is just screaming on
At
her.
the sound of her
okay,
voice,
yeah,
like,
maybe
what made
hearing her
switch?
triggered him.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious
I
about.
almost feel like she didn't get a word in before he started screaming on her. Like,
So maybe it just took him like a second to process. Like, you're like, yo, I'm about to call TANEA, and he's like, all right, and then you call.
he didn't stop me. Like, I thought that he would stop me if he really wanted me to not call her.
He didn't shoot you a cold glance.
And keep in mind that she had been hitting me up in such a way that it seemed like she was on good terms with him. So I'm not thinking he's going to be raging out at the idea of talking to her.
It could be. It also be that sometimes exes be cool, but they new spouses or the new people that they be with don't be cool with them situations though as well.
Yeah, he might be with a girl that
And it go both ways though.
Yeah.
You know, you could be cool with your ex, you know what I'm saying, and her dude ain't cool with you, or you know what I'm saying, you could, vice versa, you know what I mean?
Right.
His girl, your ex girl, you know what I'm saying, dude ain't, I don't know, but sometimes it be like that. Sometimes y'all be cool, but y'all, you know what I'm saying.
He just didn't have the. He didn't take.
cussing her out.
Screaming on her. You wouldn't believe it. And calling her a Hoover lover in
That's what
other
it is.
terms.
That's what it is, bro. Hey, because
On the nail then.
leading up to him getting locked up, I don't think it was all the way clear that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, okay. That happens. And then, you know, and normally when we do a podcast, I don't think there's ever been a time where he like got up and did something else in the middle of it. And keep in mind, his energy was so good prior to this. He kept coming around the table and putting me in a headlock and shit, which normally in a podcast would be weird, but with him, you know, it felt like this was just all fun and games. We're having a good time. Topics were going good. I had a bunch more good topics on deck. And then he kind of says like, I'm hungry and I gotta pee. You think he's like, you think my Corritos are here? Cause I think Josh had ordered some Mexican food for him. And, comes and starts playing with Corritos. Yeah, he was like, not a Corrito, but a burrito. Yeah. Come on,
man. First I thought you talking about Doritos. I'm like, damn, like that man called it Doritos. You talking about the burrito though.
So, okay.
That's so tight.
So then he's gone for a couple minutes and I kind of hear him like rumbling in the other room. So I walk out there. And I start to realize that he was actually mad, and that's why he walked off the podcast. And he's on his phone, and he's just hammering away, texting a mile a minute. And I start to realize that, I'll tell you first what he told me before we get into like what I learned afterwards. But he tells me that his girl is furious at him because of the TANEA call, like his baby mama. And I'm like, what? Why does she even know about that?
Was it on live?
No, it wasn't live. And I'm like, why does she even know about that? And he's like, cause I told her. And I'm like, I would just edit it out. Like if you want, it was only like 5 minutes that we would have to edit out of the podcast. And it was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, but like, I'll edit it out if it's gonna be that big a deal. And he pretty much immediately goes into like, no, now I gotta find a new place to live. Like she's gonna put me out. She did this and that. And I'm like, I'm kind of like confused about what to even say. Cause I'm like, we didn't even put the podcast out. Like you didn't have to tell her. You could have just kept this to yourself.
Did he think it was live?
I don't think so, because we never did a live podcast before.
Never, no. You just putting this book out there like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we might be looking at 10, 50 places straight.
Well, but, okay, I mean, yeah, you're right. But, like, I'm kind of airing out what happened. But that's what he told me is that, like, basically, like, now things are all bad. So then
you better get with what's cracking, man.
Yeah, he's viral, bro.
It's not bad right now. Like, if you put me out, I'm gonna be out your life. The baby gonna be cool. So look, we did a podcast. He called her. I ain't had nothing to do with the shit. That shit is over with.
He might be posted up with a supermodel as far as we know by the end of the week.
You better go get stunner.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, from Blueface to shooter to Crip Mac. There you go.
She's sleeping on Mac Nasty. Like you want to? Are you serious?
I'm not even dealing with it. And I'm in a pod space anyway, man.
Shout out to Juicy Drainer.
Let me say this to Crip Mac. Let me say this because I watched the interview when he was saying that he really wasn't like dealing with her. I don't know to what extent, you know, when he first got out or whatever the case is.
Well, that's a good point too, is that if it had gone into my head of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't talk to a girl that he used to fuck with because of his current girl, he has never said to me that he's in a relationship with his baby mama. He's always just said that they're co-parenting.
Correct.
And that they are not romantically involved.
Yeah, but that could compromise co-parenting to a degree.
I mean, I don't see how, but that's what I was alluding to right there. That's the part that I heard. So my whole thing to, you know what I'm saying, the Crip Mac, bro, if she didn't hold you down and she wasn't there like Lupe, homie, you know what I'm saying? Love would love you, dog. Straight up, homie. Just cause you out now and you cracking and all that, don't let no woman use that baby over you or nothing like that, homie. You know what I'm saying? Get your chili, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of them out here. Plenty of fish in this. Because you got to care about somebody, don't mean you got to be with them.
But so, okay, he sits down because he's like, Adam, I need the rest of the money because I sent him a deposit for the interview or whatever.
You just telling everything.
No, I mean, we're airing it all out. So then I said, I'm like, well, I can't give you the whole rest of the deposit because we only just did like an hour. Like, you know, I'm trying to do 2 hours. Like, I got a whole list of questions here. We didn't even get to most of them. Yeah. And he's like, all right, fine. And he like sits down and he's just still hammering away his phone. Like, he's clearly just arguing.
While you're recording again at this point.
Yeah. And at a certain point, I'm like, so you good? He's like, all right. He puts his phone away and then we start talking again, but he's super distracted. Like he can't get into the topics at all because now his mind state is just completely gone. Yeah. And so then he kind of like just gets up and he's just like, you know, Adam, I'm out of here. Like you don't even got to send me the money. I don't care. I'm just out of here. And so then it was actually like I pointed out to somebody the other day that me and Crip Mac, as much as we've been through together and as many beefs as he's been in with people that I fuck with and as many beefs as I've been in with people that he fucks with, me and him have never, like he has never dissed me and I don't think I've ever dissed him. Like we never went back and forth. He's talked crazy about like everybody, but he never talked crazy about me. At this point, he's telling me I'm a piece of shit. Like he's really letting me know. And I'm trying to tell him, I'm like, bro, we'll edit it out the podcast, which that is the plan right now, is that we're going to edit it out the podcast so that people don't have to hear it, I guess. But like, he's really pissed and he's like really kind of trying to guilt trip me about the fact that now he needs to find a spot or whatever. And then I got Lupe talking into my other ear, kind of telling me like, I'm gonna calm him down. Like he's just tweaking right now. He's just mad, whatever. And so whatever, like then he leaves. And then I realized that he already has gone on his story while he was in the building and basically told everybody that I'm a backdoor guy and that I'm a Hoover lover.
What?
I mean, that's what he said. He's basically like, he felt like I set him up with the TANEA call, which I had no idea that was something to set up.
You're a Hoover lover.
And also, I don't look at her as like a Hoover representative, right? Like, cause yeah, she got a baby with a Hoover dude. I never met him. I mean, yeah, she got baby with a bunch of guys. They're from a bunch of different hoods. Yeah, clearly she's not, she seems about as concerned with what hood people are from as I am about like what podcasters are on here, what they're from, which is to say, I don't give a fuck.
Her children could literally be like the United Nations of gangbanging, bro.
It'd be like a Spody face cipher.
Man, shout out to the picture of the